Looking for the latest comic book to add to your collection? How about the last card for that Magic the Gathering Commander deck? Well, the comic book store's got you covered. Shop online at comicbookstore.tcgplayerpro.com or come in person at 30 North Main Street, Glassboro, New Jersey. Pizza people, welcome back. Hope you've been keeping it cheesy. We've got some standard tournament coverage for you today. We've got the top 8 from the slice of standard that was actually just this past Sunday, July 31st. We've got OhOneNine and MagicBrad on the commentary. You can find all their information as well as any tournaments that we host monthly in the description down below, and I hope that you enjoy the video.
I played enough Magic that occasionally I'm just going to get land screwed just by the law of large numbers.
Yeah.
But it still doesn't make me feel good.
That's true. And see, if you've ever watched me stream, if you've ever watched me draft on stream, you know that I don't care about treasures because I'm going to cut 6 lands from my deck. I'm going to run 10 and somehow still pull 12. I'm going to get all the lands I need. So treasures, whatever. But no, I fully get it. It really does just smooth out that curve and really just fills that gap where some of those powerful dual lands are just not available.
So moving on to the game here, we've got Big Goon 86 against Biggie. And again, Biggie with the quote-unquote abs in, but we all know it's mono white at this point. And Big Goon showing a Hinata deck. Of course, I should mention here that we've moved on to the quarterfinals. The cut has been made to 8. So these two gentlemen very interested in proceeding, having access to that cash prize, as well as all the glory that comes with winning the top 8 PizzaBox slice of standard. Again, I want to take a minute to acknowledge all of the commentators that preceded us, and then also the great folks over at the comic book store, and also Hollywood Pizza for hosting this. It's been a fantastic time. Being reintroduced to competitive Magic has been a lot of fun for me. I'm not sure about you, Brad, but I kind of had a lull there where I wasn't engaged as much in the competitive world. And I will say these tournaments have really reinvigorated my interest.
Yeah, COVID really kind of shut everything down, except for online play. And I didn't really get, I used to be quite competitive in paper. And when I started, pretty much when you had to kind of just switch over to arena, I really didn't go the competitive route. And to be honest, I didn't really know that there were things like the PizzaBox because I wasn't on Twitter. I didn't really do social media. I just kind of played arena and thought that was that. I didn't realize that there were all these amazing tournament producers that were doing these things to really help out the community. Like, there's no money in it. Like, they're just doing it because they love to help the community. They want to see this happen. So just huge round of applause to the entire PizzaBox crew for putting these things on and giving us an opportunity to just blather on like the couple of giant nerds we are. And people are like, good point. I agree with OhOneNine. That's full of crap. You know,
we both know no one has ever said that. We know that. Yeah. No one has ever said that.
All right. So now that we're done just doing that, all right, the game here. So I think that Biggie is, I don't know, I think this Hinata deck has a lot better pre-board game, like game 1 against mono white than it does post-board.
Sure, yeah. At the beginning there, we saw a pretty aggressive decision to hit the Voltaic on the Initiate. I'm not sure that I would have done the same because he was able to resolve the Intrepid, which of course represents a much larger issue, it being a 3-1 and then also having the lifelink element. I do also understand, right, the concept, Bolt the Bird, probably would have held it. Still, you have the expressive iteration in your hand. You're trying to dig your way around to maybe a different answer. And there's the Dragon's Fire. So has a choice here. I wonder if he hits the Fable to make the 3/3. Okay.
Yeah, which is not a bad choice because that'll trade with the Intrepid Adversary. Unfortunately, Big Goon doesn't know that Brutal Cathar is just going to come in and yoink away that token.
Yeah, and no recourse for getting it back to the battlefield, it being a token, of course.
Yeah, so it's just gone, which is going to put Biggie in a lot stronger position here. But still, Big Goon running that Hinata deck, not out of this just yet, depending on what he's got in his hand. we can see that Spell Pierce, which at this point in time is pretty much useless.
Oof, and another elite spellbinder has the option here to go plus on the, and there he goes with the paladin class.
Yeah, all he's got to do is get in 2 creatures.
Mm-hmm.
He's looking at the
Yeah.
board, thinking to himself, math is for blockers. Turn him sideways.
All right. Figured it out there. So looks like Biggie takes game 1. Again, main boarding 2 copies of Thalia, going to bring in the other 2 copies. I would assume also the Archon and let's see here, boarding out potentially 1 or more Skyclaves is the line I would take.
Yeah, the Skyclave's probably got to come out. It did take out all of the portable holes. They're very low effect
Mm-hmm.
in this.
You could hit
However,
a treasure, I guess, but it's
however, I have done that to my opponent where the play is to, I mean, looking at like the treasures, using to smooth out their curve.
Yep.
They're only on 2 lands. I'm like, you know what? I'm a portable hole your treasure and just like be that guy and just completely stall them out.
That's pretty much that's about the closest thing we have to Stone Rain here in Standard. Is portable holding a treasure.
Yeah.
We don't have we have with few exceptions almost no land destruction here. As we look at Biggie's opening hand here, 4 lands, but does have 2/2/3. I always do that in my head here whenever I'm looking at my opener. I look at the progression and I say that out aloud in my head. I go, oh wow, curves out perfectly with the Usher there.
Yeah.
You know, a 3-lander and you've got 1, 3, 4, 5 or something like that. You're just like, okay, yeah, this'll work. What you don't want to do, and I think part of the reason that mono white kind of fell out of favor, I say a little bit as we're seeing here, someone in the top 8 who's doing quite well with it, was the fact that so many of their premier cards, Brutal Cathar, Elite Spellbinder, Skyclave Apparition, they all cost 3 mana. Adeline costs 3 mana. So the problem was if you can't have everything cost the same mana and expect to curve out with any consistency. So that was I think that contributed at least to I wouldn't say mono white falling out of popularity, as you can see it's still being played now, but not as popular as it was.
Yeah, still a very strong and effective deck. But yeah, it has definitely kind of fallen out of popularity. And we're going to see Biggie play that Elite Spellbinder, which I think at this point is such a good one. You know, he's going to be able to slow down that Hinata, you know, is not a bad choice. The Fable, the Dragon's Fire, I think would not be the right choice there.
Yeah, I go Fable there. I agree with his decision to go Fable. Fable gives him, oh, wow. Lands. Ugh, okay. Skyclave.
He knows the Spellbinder can just die. He knows the Spellbinder can die to that Dragon's Fire, but I think Biggie might be trying to play around that Dragon's Fire, hoping that Elite Spellbinder is just going to eat that Dragon's Fire, play out the land, the Intrepid Adversary kicked to get the extra oomph off of those counters.
See how he's going to play Intrepid there and pay the 2 to give the counter. Everything. What I would have done, and again, I'm here commenting. I'm not in the top 8, so what do I know? What I would have done is pre-combat hit the Intrepid. That makes Elite Spellbinder a little bit more, and then it baits out that Dragonfire even sooner, because now Intrepid is just a 3/1. It doesn't buff the team, right?
Oh, and see, to me, like, I think playing the Usher of the Fallen, leaving the Intrepid Adversary in hand, to me, may have been a better line. But then again, I'm not in that position. You know, I'm not in the top 8. I'm here, you know, just watching him play in the top 8.
You know, another line here that was an option saying, I wonder if he boasts. You got to, wow, chooses not to boast. See, what I would have done there is boast, or the other option is you hit the cave, right? Because cave, actually, I think cave is 4 to act. Oh, that's right. He can do it.
Yeah, he can do both.
He can do both.
Why not both?
I guess for some reason I had thought the boast effect could only be done
no, you just
during
have to,
combat.
Yeah, you just have to attack with that creature. You don't need to do it during combat. As long as that creature attacked at some point in time, you can activate that boast.
And so, and we saw there, again, we had mentioned treasure. The fact that Big Goon has not pulled a Plains source yet, and so he had to burn his only treasure in order to resolve Hinata. We'll see if that makes a difference here. Again, no white sources currently, two options here. You could go with the cave, but it's only a 3/4. It will die to Hinata. The problem here with the big go wide is you can't turn anything sideways. And this goes back to kind of my argument about adversary. If you had the counters on the team, what would that look like?
Well, they would all be, obviously they'd all be at least one bigger, but you'd be looking at that elite spellbinder, likely trying to fly in because it would be fine trading with Hinata. I don't think Biggie would have any issue with his elite spellbinder trading with Hinata. We'd
Right.
see that Skyclave apparition being, like a 3/3, even the Usher being a 3/2, big enough to cause Big Goon to really think about the blocks.
And you keep that land in hand. There's no sense in playing a
There's
land
no
here.
sense in playing that out.
Yeah, keep that as a little bit of a secret. With this here, what you're trying to do now is just you know you're going to lose Elite Spellbinder or the Cave, depending on how he chooses to block. But you just got to get in sideways here eventually. He's going to beat you on value if you don't do it now. And there's still no guarantee here. There's Blessed Bolt. He gets the 3/3.
That's going to make the 3/3 to block that Hopeful Initiate. And do you?
No!
Oh, Valorous!
Golly!
Ouch! This has gone very, very bad for Biggie. Very, very bad for Biggie there. But Hinata not coming in, opting to just hang back to try and block that Cave of the Frost Dragon if it gets activated.
All right, can give it double strike next turn. We'll punch past, assuming he doesn't draw anything else. We'll be able to punch past any of the blockers. Again, still missing a white source is Big Goon here.
Yeah. But doing fairly well, utilizing those treasures. And Biggie just saying, I found all your planes for you.
Maybe he might have stolen some.
A little bit like, are you kidding me?
Activating the land there, not necessary. Excuse me, activating. Playing the land there, not necessary. Does he have another Dragonfire? Ugh, gosh.
Sure does.
Yeah, that's more or less going to do it.
Yeah.
Not sure why I play the land there. It doesn't do you any good. There's few cards. I can't think of any cards here that keep Biggie alive here. Looks like we're going to go to game 3. Oh boy, that's definitely not going to do it.
Well, the Hopeful Initiate can do the blocking on the ground. If he hadn't have activated Cave of the Frost Dragon, he could have activated it on Big Goon's turn just to do the blocking. But instead opts to just kind of give him a little smack in the face and be like, hey, I want to make it as close as possible.
Right. Okay, looks like we're going to game 3 here. Sideboard modifications, what would you do?
Oh.
Do you bring in the Maul?
The Maul might actually be okay. But that Hinata deck, it runs a lot of removal, a lot of spot removal, and it really hurts your heart when you pay the mana to equip the Skyclave, even just casting it out of the hand because it just kind of you get to equip it to something. When as soon as it hits that creature, your opponent's like, oh yeah, pew, it's dead. Or you've paid the mana for it, it's on its way over to that creature, and your opponent's like, I can kill that for just 2, instead of having to waste a couple of spells on that or pay a lot more to get rid of it.
It also doesn't help that Hinata runs, I believe, at least 2 copies of Prismari Command mainboard, which, in addition to the 2 damage to torpedo whatever creature you attach it to, also has Destroy Target Artifact as one of the options.
Just deals with it on its own.
Yeah, Paladin class is going to do some work here. The double Luminar can also be quite good. Last time opponent started with a Voltaic immediately on the Hopeful Initiate. Doesn't do so this time. Does he start with the Thalia?
We might see Thalia hit the board here right away.
I was about to say, I kind of like Luminarch. I like Luminarch.
Is the smart play Thalia to tone your opponent down right away? Because as Hinata's on the deck or on the stack, your opponent's got to decide if they have that Voltaic, use it now or, maybe not be able to use it for quite a while.
Sure. Thalia's good here. He may have the voltaic. Yeah, there we go. Oh, Flame
Flame
Blessed.
Blessed
Yeah,
Bolt
same time.
decides I gotta fire this off now,
Yep.
or it's just gonna could potentially end up being 2 mana for 2 damage. Not so effective.
Oh, there's a
Oh, and that land coming in
nice
tap,
land.
that's
Yeah.
gonna hurt a little bit.
All right. So I will say, another Flame Blessed or Voltaic or something will kill Thalia. Opens up the game a little bit. Oh wow, two
Whoa,
options here.
that thing.
I think you start with Paladin, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
I'd
Start with.
start with Paladin.
He's going to have some amount of removal here. We'll see what it could be. It could be a Prismari command, which we just mentioned. Okay, Dragon's Fire
That's
pays
Dragon's Fire, but
pays the
this also
penalty.
gives Biggie the opportunity to just play out another Luminarch Aspirant.
Yeah.
Just
And now do you
throw
double
both.
stack on the one here?
Yeah,
Put
I
all your
think
eggs in
put
one
them both on the
basket.
one.
Yeah.
This mono white deck wants to be super, super aggressive. So, stacking both those counters on one, and then, this turn possibly stacking both those counters on the other aspirant. All right, since Hinata's hit the board, just throw them both onto the one aspirant again. Why not?
Can't, yeah, well, now you can make them both 4/4s. So if he does activate for 3, you can activate for 3. Now they're both. Now it's a 4/4 and a 2/2, and then you put 2 counters on the other. Now you get 2 4/4s, and he gets to choose whether or not he wants to block with the Hinata.
Yeah,
But
you want to trade? You want to trade or not? I'm still gonna have a 4/4, possibly 5/5 next turn, right?
the gamble is, does he have another in hand? Does he have another one in hand? Okay, so it looks like he's the same idea here. The other idea would be to make one of them a 5/5, and then wait 1 turn here. Oh wow, takes 8 down to 5.
Big Goon decides to take it.
Okay.
Does Goon have the answer here? This could be a quick game 3.
Ooh, that's not good. He's digging for an answer here.
Yeah.
Not trading was and the other thing is this: reducing the cost of something doesn't work when it's blue-red. So land here, another Hinata
There's
does you
another
no good.
Hinata, which does not really do much good other than, gives Big Goon the opportunity to swing in. But he doesn't have the Valorous stance.
Good start. Okay. Yeah, that's a good start.
Yeah, but Big Goon doesn't have the available lands to just play that out again. But he's looking at just absolutely losing his Hinata here.
Does he have a chance? Does he have the blink effect? Does he have the return target creature to your hand? Because
Fading
if he's
Hope? Yeah, could.
If he's got,
that might be the line.
Oh, if he's got it, that's going to be an absolute backbreak. I don't think Biggie comes back if he does have the blink your creature effect.
Yeah.
Threatening lethal has to take it. That's the right line.
Yeah.
Another Paladin to deny that.
And the Sun Gold Sentinel is going to come in and probably pull Hinata out of the bin.
Yeah, that seems right.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar if this deck runs Burn Down the House, but that would be
maybe in the sideboard. I don't know. I didn't look at the deck list for this. I like to be surprised. I like to be surprised sometimes. All right. Like leave a little mystery in the relationship, right?
Okay. Fair enough.
But not likely running Burn Down the House, as it just totally wipes out your board as well, and it doesn't have multiple targets to affect, so Hinata doesn't really do anything for it. So I wouldn't assume to see Burn Down the House in this, even in the sideboard.
Does he have the blink effect? He does have red. He could have another Valorous here. Pretty much.
So the problem is now, though, is that Hinata's gone, and all those Paladin classes are like, well, you got to pay like 3 more now for stuff on my board.
Yeah, good game. That's a good point. He had 3 of the Paladin classes. Yeah, because information is king, and although not legal here in standard, as we wait for the matchmaking here to commence, cards like Duress and Thoughtseize and stuff like that in turn 1, even if they're not incredibly valuable. Information is king in Magic.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. The more information you have about your opponent's deck, and specifically opponent's hand, just gives you such a huge advantage. Like, it's knowing what your opponent has and seeing the lines. Maybe even if your opponent doesn't see the lines, can just it's so invaluable.
Wow. I'll tell you what, I would not have kept that hand, but it looks like IGotDead is rewarded rewarded for their ballsy keep there. A 4 land and 3/4 CMC cards. I'm not keeping that any day of the week. But IGotDead is rewarded, does resolve the Luminarch there. That's a good trade. That's
When it's
exactly what you got
swinging,
to do.
yeah.
Like, he
And
knows what to do here.
gonna be
Another 4
slowed
cost
down,
card.
but Helena hitting the board after that Fleetfoot Dancer,
Oh,
that's gonna be very, very difficult for this mono white deck to deal with. Like, really,
mhm.
Skyclave Apparition and Brutal Cathar are gonna be the two all-stars here if Biggie can find them.
Yep. And then do you start with, you start with the fleet, or do you start with the Seekas? You got 2 of them. They don't
Yeah.
run.
But Fleetfoot comes out, it's got haste,
Right.
it's got lifelink, but opts to go with
Uh,
the Chariot
okay.
to kind of play a little more defensively, I guess.
Well, I think he also recognizes the fact that he has another one in hand. Of course, legend rule applies here. What he may be thinking is, what I'm going to do is I'm going to activate it and block whatever comes, and I don't care because I'm going to just resolve another one at some point.
Yeah, just play the second one, like pretty much right afterwards.
Right. Right.
Yeah. It's not a bad plan, not a bad play. I mean, getting up to that 4 lands gives you options. Oh, Intrepid
Oh,
Adversary
he's able to pay the 2. Oh, that hurts. This
pays
is
the 2, which is going to put
so.
one of those Luminarch aspirants up pretty,
Yeah.
pretty
I wanted
high.
to say earlier, by the way, we were talking about the frequency at which cards appear. And in playing Arena, you're not just playing the cards that you have in your deck. And let's say you have 60 cards. Every single card does not have equal weight. We've
No.
seen that already.
Yes.
Every single one of these games, if you're a player with white in your mana base and you have Luminarch Aspirant, it is in your opening hand. It is in your opening hand. At least
Seems
one.
to be, yeah.
Biggie had 2. And
Yeah.
what I'm trying to say here is, what I'm saying is, the game is not as simple as you're seeing it. The game is, you're contesting not only the average of drawing the cards based on what you have shown, you're also dealing with the mathematical shuffling that's occurring behind the scenes. And when you start to like pick up on the patterns that Wizards gives you in this game for like what cards are going to kind of find their way to the top organically, it makes
Yeah.
it kind of easier because you'll be able to do things like, make aggressive decisions that you wouldn't otherwise.
Yeah. So he's going to make a big Chariot here, get in for the swing, be able to make another blocker.
Right. That's a oof.
And if if Helena is not kind of taken off this board, fairly soon, although Biggie does have 2 5-power creatures.
Yeah,
That
about to be
go
bigger
over
too.
top, they go over top of the cat.
Yeah.
It's and one of them is lifelink. So the Intrepid Adversary can most definitely keep Biggie in this, even with that Helena on board.
Sure.
But IGotDead's got that Fleetfoot Dancer that can come out next turn. Almost be okay eating the damage off of either that aspirant or the adversary, and just getting that Fleetfoot Dancer, putting a couple counters on it, swinging in for 6 lifelink, and gaining back more damage than they take.
I suspect Talon and Elena is not long for this world. If he does ever find a Cathar or anything else, I mean, first of all, you're staring down 14 damage here. The other thing is that one of them is gaining him 6 life. So all the work you've done to reduce his life total is now effectively removed, right? Back to 20, and you're at 9. And you could argue board state here is woefully in favor of an elite spellbinder. He's going to take
Spellbinder is
Fleetfoot.
going to come in, and I would assume just take that Fleetfoot Dancer and say no, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And even if he does pull land off the top and can pay, the 2 mana tax that elite spellbinder applies to it, I don't know that it matters. Yeah, well, there you go. So that's exactly what I was just saying. Pay the tax now that you have the land available, or you roll the dice with Storm the Festival. But just, I don't know what you could possibly. Yeah, he's going to roll the dice here, see what he can come up with. Elspeth is not bad.
Elspeth is not a bad hit. Gets another body on board. Elspeth, depending on how low everything is in their deck, might just want to build up Elspeth. But Elspeth, okay. So here you go. Here's going to be the line. They're going to. IGotDead is going to activate the Chariot. Elspeth is then going to activate and
Sure.
put the counter onto the chariot there.
Right. The lifelink counter.
Yeah, I would take
Halana
the lifelink counter.
Halana buffs it. What are we looking at then? How
Going to be
much?
looking at 9 life coming over. So all
Okay.
that damage, or a majority of the damage
Makes
done, and making another of those
okay.
goblin tokens.
Okay.
And they just kind of swap life totals there, casually swap life totals. Yeah.
You know what? Whew. Okay, now is able to activate the flyer, which Halana Elena can block, but is only of 3 toughness. This might be enough here because
But,
also the flyer is going to be a 4/5 because of the intrepid adversary.
well, the Cave of the Frost Dragon.
This,
Halana
yeah,
can block the Spellbinder easily because Halana's got first strike. So there's
right.
no issue there. But bringing in the Cave of the Frost Dragon is probably not going to matter so much at this point because it's time to say goodbye to
Yeah,
Halana. And at this point, without Halana continually buffing up the chariot, what is IGotDead staring down the pipe there? We got 4, 6, 10, and 8 is 18, 19, 20 with the 2 extra counters, and can only block 1 creature. So can block a maximum of 6
right.
if Biggie went to face, but gonna opt to go after Elspeth.
Right, and, you know, the 2 counters on Elite to immediately kill, Elspeth might not seem as important as rendering lethal here, particularly against an opponent that can have such an extreme swing back with things like Storm the Festival. I mean, if he
Yeah.
top decks Storm the Festival and he does hit a Fleetfoot and potentially another Halana and Elena, I mean, that's a sensational return.
Oh yeah.
But getting rid of Elspeth, the right move. There's rarely does killing whatever planeswalker it is not the right answer.
Yeah. You are definitely not wrong, but
Oh, he is going face.
looking like Biggie is just gonna say,
Okay.
you know what?
He's going for it.
Yeah, we're gonna do this.
Whoa. Okay,
Yeah,
11.
let's do this.
Whoa, down.
They're gonna not even swap life totals, but that
Okay. Can ditch
so
the Asika.
do you
but
just
what is
pitch
that?
both and hope to hit Storm of the Festival at this point? Because that's going to be
Yeah.
pretty much the only thing that's going to keep you in it. Or
Right.
you keep that land 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Not enough lands to pay for Storm the Festival again. So do you pitch both?
I think you pitch both. Yeah. Oh wow.
Doesn't go.
Okay,
Roll the
doesn't
dice
matter.
on one. Hits
Doesn't
it
matter.
big. Ooh, put her
Just
all
not another
on
Asika.
red, sir.
He's really just
Got
hoping
it.
not another one. Just go main. You go main. Just hit the storm and roll the dice. It's your only chance.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, he's gonna.
Okay. That is 9.
He's gonna get
Does
10
have
life out of
lifelink.
this.
Vigilance. Okay, 10. Wow.
10
okay.
life out of this. Giving it the vigilance really doesn't matter. Giving it the flying, because it doesn't matter what other counters are on it at this point.
Right.
It's just, because it just goes back to being an artifact. So it's to have the vigilance, the flying, whatever, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, and the other thing is, you can forget is it's not like some effects are until end of turn, but with Elspeth it applies a counter. This it's a kind of a
It's a
callback to
permanent effect.
kind of
Yeah.
like the throwback to the Ikoria era, which introduced the concept of death touch, menace, lifelink, flying counters, not your mother's
Until the end of turn.
until end of turn. No, this is 2022, folks, and applying death touch and lifelink and vigilance counters is very much a reality. I can't say that I agree with resolving the Fleetfoot there.
But putting the vigilance on the chariot and bringing out the Fleetfoot Dancer now gives IGotDead the ability to crew the chariot, which is a 10/10 lifelinker.
Yeah. He is staring down 10 in the air though.
He is staring down 10 in the air. We'll put him to 4.
Least 10 in the air, yeah.
Biggie back up. Oh, it's going to be 12 in the air.
Yeah, 12 in the air.
Counters. And even if Biggie swings out, Chariot does some blocking, we're just going to see damage flying everywhere. There's going to be wailing and gnashing of teeth, gaining and losing of life. It's going to be a little interesting.
I will say that now he waited a turn to kill the Elspeth, which allowed him to place the vigilance counter. This is why I was saying earlier it might have been more prudent to kill the Elspeth sooner, because that
Yeah.
vigilance counter is now persistent. That's now
Yeah.
there forever.
So I think we probably see another Storm of the Festival, because playing the other chariot out, maybe
Yeah.
just to get the 2 little kitty cats, not so great. Oh, so we got an extraction specialist that they could possibly play to pull.
And
something
Skyclave.
with 2
Skyclave
mana,
gets
but I
rid of
don't
one of
think
the
there's anything.
flyers.
Is there anything in the bin worth for the extraction specialist to actually get out of there? If you take the spectral or the intrepid adversary, it tones down the entire board by
I think that's the
one
right
on the
move.
front and back end.
Right. Now,
The
the other
Luminarch
argument would be
Aspirant.
that the
Good
Luminarchs
call.
are doing.
So the extraction specialist pulls out something of 3
Wow.
CMC or 2 CMC and less.
I
Doesn't
thought he
matter.
was-
I got dead. Takes that first game. That was
I
that
thought
was
he was
a
done
lot
for.
of big swings, a lot of life gain. That was a very, very interesting game.
I thought I'll be completely honest. By the way, excellent plays by both players. They saw the lines on a number of very difficult positions there. I just want to also mention in the beginning there, IGotDead kept a 7-lander that had 4 lands and 3 4-cost cards. That is that I would never, ever would I keep that. And he was immediately rewarded by top decking Luminarch Aspirant. Again, like I said earlier, drawing on the fact that he knows that not all cards are the same in Magic. Not all cards, even though it should be a 1 out of 60 chance for all 60 cards, they're not all the same. Fervent Champions, Luminarch Aspirants, things like that, they have a higher percentage of finding their way to the top of the deck. And he ran the odds on that, counted the cards, and he was right.
I think that Wizards has weighted my cards more towards my lands.
Oh, okay. they have a hex.
Yeah,
on
I have
Brad.
a very high percentage rate of pulling a land.
I see.
Yeah.
IGotDead here. An opener with 2 tap lands and 2 Asikas. Again, a keep that I would never consider.
But now a third Innkeeper in hand. So next turn they're going to be able to just kind of, slap down. If they top deck a land that can come out tap, they can slap down, just kind of cascading Innkeepers, even just to do some blocking.
Yeah, oh my gosh, with the Intrepid as well.
But no one paid there.
Oh, and another
tap coming in tapped.
God. Okay, Halana and Elena is available next turn, even if he doesn't find a land here. Unfortunately, I think it's going to be.
There's Adelaine. That's make things.
That's what mono white does.
You step in front of the adversary here. Yeah.
Right, of course.
Take the additional damage now, but
well,
he can't. He doesn't have the mana to do it, does he?
He's not going to be able to survive, though. He's looking at.
He can. With
the
treasure, it's 1 less to cast because it's vanquished the horde.
He's able to play his own.
Very, very good.
Oh my God,
very good.
Okay. It's not over.
That's absolutely great. I love it.
Oh my gosh. Land.
That
Okay.
vanquished the horde.
The Fable hit the Fable.
Is reduced by 1 for every creature you control.
That's right.
Had the exact combination of cards.
Oh my God.
To be able to do that.
Oh my God. He found the Legion Angel, the one of.
Oh
no.
Which is just going to bring in multiple Legion Angels.
Who's going to win this game? Send a Helena, send a Seeker's Chariot. You've got to find a land here. They're both
tap lands. Oh, no. It's just going to. He's on 7 life, but found a way to stay alive so far. But
can this game go any crazier?
I don't know. You get
my gosh! If he had found an untapped land, he could have chose not to attack into the Legion. He's thinking about saving.
Do you put out the Fleetfoot Dancer at this point? No, you got to put out.
No, it's post combat.
She's got reach.
Yeah, it's post combat.
You put out Hinata because the Cave of the. Although Biggie doesn't have enough lands to activate Cave of the Frost Dragon.
Not yet, right? To be seen. Let's see what he's got on top. He might just have lethal right here. If he pulls an untapped land, that's it. This is insane. This is the most. I mean, I should start playing more standard.
Celebrating. Biggie is either dancing around their room right now, or really trying to figure out what to do to close this out.
Oh my gosh,
Biggie needs to keep Legion Angel. Almost needs to keep Legion Angel. Oh, that's gonna hurt.
Okay, that's a good
Here
start.
goes Halana.
Right, and he's already discarded one of them, so that's now 2 of them down. Now, not gone forever, of course.
But one is in the bin. The other one is just
Right.
going to be very expensive to cast.
Do you go as Sika's and pay for the future? Because oh no, you can't.
No,
You're
he's got to get something with reach,
mhm.
or swinging with the dancer just to stay alive. But even then,
No,
Biggie can just let him hit him.
yeah,
Goes up to
that's it.
7, and there's no protection
There's
in the air.
nothing. Yeah.
You can bring in. No, you can play the prosperous innkeeper, followed up with
He'll
a chariot, gain a couple life.
He'll gain a couple life. He'll be at 3, I believe, post attack, and that's assuming, of course. Oh wait, actually no, he's got
Ding,
paladin
ding.
class. He can up it.
He can tick up paladin class.
Now he
He
can
can
up it
also
twice.
activate Cave of the Frost
Yeah, he
Dragon.
can up it
Yeah,
twice.
IGotDead. Yeah,
Woo-hoo-hoo!
that
Oh
was
my gosh.
IGotDead. Wow, coming out of left field to just like, no, enough.
These are two pros. These are two heavyweight sluggers right now going at it. We're going into the 9th round here. I'm trying to make all of every boxing analogy I can right now. This is they're going into the 9th round here, and these are two heavyweights just swinging away here. Two aggressive aggro / mid-range players that have been, like you said earlier, exchanging life totals, exchanging creatures. Just
Oh yeah, just
wow.
huge swings, life total, just constantly swapping life totals, and it's, being on the other side of the board from that, you're like, yes, I'm going to take, 15 damage here. I'm going to go down to, 4 life, but the crackback is going to have me gain 18 life and put my opponent down to 6. So, it's really not that bad. It's who can get those in huge life gain swings like this. It's who can get that slight advantage. Who
Yeah.
can take out just that one card that will break a stalemate. A card like Halana and Elena, just that elite spellbinder coming in and saying, nope, you are about to be uncastable, just absolutely killed IGotDead's game.
And it's so crazy that IGotDead was even in that game, because if you recall, his first 3 lands were all tapped, the ETB,
Yeah,
enter the
all
battlefield
tap
tapped,
lands.
right?
Yeah.
And then he goes off the top and does end up finding 2 lands, right? And they're both tapped as well. So
Yeah.
every single source that he has, and
But
that's the
has
kind.
has one open land and 2 treasures.
Ugh,
Those treasures and vanquish the horde with 1 creature on board.
instant
Somehow manages to just stay in that game.
instant keep by IGotDead here. This is an amazing opener here.
This
We
is a
mentioned
great opener.
you want to talk about curving out 2, 3,
Yeah.
4 with 4 lands. You have all your colors represented. This is a no doubter here,
Yeah,
and because
this
it's going to be oh my god. Now this is
is
actually
another
interesting.
aspirant. But do you just keep the 2, 3, 4?
I think what I would have done first of all is declare an attacker first, but oh wow, it turns it sideways. I think he
Offering the
sees the
trade there
value.
because they've got the backup aspirant. So why
Yeah,
not?
yeah. I think more so, I think it's the fact that he recognizes that obviously white is much more of an aggressive pace, and the Naya variant is more leaning toward mid range. It has a lot more 4 and 5,
Yeah.
4 and 6 cost spells. So resolving, wow, and brutal
Ooh.
Cathar. Man, these guys are just trading blows. This is
Yeah,
wild.
this is some good magic. For all you folks at home watching, this is some good magic with some very mediocre commentary mixed in.
Whoa, and the wandering. Oh
Oh,
my
it gets the
gosh.
Wandering Emperor. But do we see the Fleetfoot Dancer here?
I go
Get
Sika. I
that
think
life?
yeah, you buy into the future. The Sika is very much a you're you say, you're investing in the future of your game
Yeah.
by running that. I think that's the right choice. Also, if you can, 2 turns from now, once Kiki Jiki flips, you'd be able to activate the 1 to copy it. And so if you can keep Fleetfoot in hand, and it of course has haste, then you're attacking with 2 4/4s with lifelink, trample, and haste. So if you can wait 2 more turns, you have wandering to kind of cover you for 1 more turn. Again, this is where mono white kind of, not just mono white, but aggro decks in general, if they can't get underneath mid range or underneath control decks, it's effectively, oh my gosh, a timely elite
That's a
spellbinder
good
there.
play. What do you take though? Do you take the Emperor because it's kind of the, 'cause it's because it
See, I would have
exiles
taken
stuff?
Fleetfoot there. That life gain, if your only win condition is just beating down your opponent, and you're gonna give them a big nasty life linker, haste, and it could be copied with a Kiki Jiki pretty soon.
Yeah,
I don't know.
but we're seeing no attacks coming from Biggie, knowing that that Fleetfoot Dancer is in hand,
Right.
coming out,
Now he can tap.
activate the
Uh,
Chariot,
See, I would have
swinging with
tapped.
the Dancer, the Chariot, and the Cat, just going
I
full bore here, knowing
Wow,
full
he's
well these attacks heavily, heavily favor I Got Dead.
he is meeting aggression with aggression here. Mono White is downhill all the way, and he is saying, okay, well, if you're going to play in that mode, obviously we know that Wanderer is going to be resolved next turn. Another thing
Yeah,
that's kind of interesting with Elite Spellbinder that you kind of forget when you put it in that kind of quasi exile mode, where it costs an additional 2, cannot be interacted with. Not that Mono White has, of course, things like Thoughtseize and stuff like that, but it
yeah,
puts it in another state that cannot be interacted
yeah.
with.
Yeah, kind of sends it off to the shadow realm,
Mm,
as as it were,
yeah.
to just a wait to be called out. So, which
If
I mean, I Got Dead can get it out next turn at instant speed
Right.
because she's got flash.
So if he does nothing here, he does have the activated colorless land. What he can do, he does nothing. Brutal Cathar will flip. It'll gain ward and first strike, which again, not enough to cover for Asikas though, but
Yeah,
still. uh,
enough to block one of the tokens, but then Biggie really has to weigh the pros and cons of that. To let it flip over to grab what?
yeah,
At that
exactly.
point, if Biggie just plays nothing to let it flip over to night and then plays 2 spells to try to flip it back over today, what is Cather realistically going to take on this board
I think he
other than Kiki Jiki? Apparently,
correct
well,
me.
it's better than one Cather. 2.
Well, the problem is this: if Brutal Cathar dies, you're in a position now where it re-enters the battlefield and immediately gets a 2/2.
Yeah.
Right? Because Brutal Cathar, unlike Skyclave, does not just come back as a token. That oh
It exiles the actual card itself.
right. And so it can return as the enchantment portion. Wow, he's just gonna turn it all sideways. I love
Yeah, it's
this.
gonna turn it all sideways, make
I
the
love
copy,
this.
wait for the blocks.
Oh,
If Biggie decides to double
nope.
block the Chariot, the
Yeah.
Wandering Emperor is going to come in, give it that +1/+1 in first strike.
He's playing it. This is interesting here. Doesn't play it in response to. That's kind of
Just
interesting.
absolutely flooding this board.
Yeah, this is where the spot removal that White has is not great. Not don't believe White has any way of dealing with go wide. Ironically, it being an aggro deck, it's the worst thing it could face is another opponent having more go wide than they
Yeah,
have.
more go wide that's a little bit bigger. Oh, there's a Vanquish the Horde for I Got Dead that is obviously, well, I shouldn't say obviously, but is very likely not to get played here unless something goes drastically wrong.
Right. Yeah, and here's the thing. If he attempts to block the Asika's Chariot with the first striking Moon Ragers, assuming he doesn't have any removal here. If he has removal, it needs to be played right now. Doesn't have it. So if it
Yeah,
was going to be a Valorous, that's it. He's playing into the idea. Doesn't attack with the others because he knows that the swing back is going to be devastating here. Doesn't
yeah,
need to bring the cats in. If he does choose to block with the Moon Rage here, he'll be able to choose which one. All right. He'll assign combat damage to the one that has the Fable, and immediately he's going to get. Oh, did
no,
he
just going to
activate it?
go with the Crawling Barrens. I may have elected to put the Sun Gold Sentinel in the way there, um, just to you know eat up that damage coming in from the Chariot. Hopefully playing 2 spells next turn with those brutes flipping and just taking away 2 tokens at a time because you don't get the tokens back; they just vanish.
It's not.
Try to effectively just kind of eat up your opponent's board, little bits at
Oh,
a time.
okay. That's
Ooh.
better. But
So here goes the Chariot. That one will not come back
I think
as
he might have
normal. It'll
lethal
come
here.
back as a 4/4 token. But honestly, Vanquish the Horde, not looking so bad right now.
I mean, you vanquish
You
the
get
Horde and then you resolve Den. You're looking at 4 damage. You're looking at 5 damage immediately because of Vanishing Verse. He's at 2.
You're gonna get the 2/2 off Fable the Mirror coming back. You're gonna get a 4/4. You're gonna be able to kind of curate your draws next turn. You can still activate Wandering Emperor to put a counter on something or make another Samurai token. It might
Yeah.
not be a bad idea.
Does he have enough here? He might try and turn everything sideways and just go for it.
Well, he's gonna have 7 attackers, which is gonna mean he's gonna have 8 attackers.
He goes.
Which is going to mean very possibly Xaxes.
Yeah, I'm counting here 8, 11, 15, 16 damage, and then has to block there. There's 8.
So there's going to be
wow,
7 Xaxes.
Oh, you know what? He crunched the numbers.
Yep. They
Wow.
say math is for blockers, but apparently
he's hovering over the good game there. Wow, what a match.
That was mono white aggro, basically for all intents and purposes, out aggroed by that Naya deck.
Pizza people, are you enjoying the content? Don't forget, subscribe to the channel. It's free. Hit that bell icon as well. That way, anytime any of our new content comes out, you're able to see it right away. Hey, leave a comment down below as well. Tell us what you're going to play in the next event, or tell us what you're enjoying about the video. Don't forget, check out the description too. We've got tons of great content down below. And on top of that, we're going to have our tournament schedule too. So get in on it. Hope to see you.
But if you get paired against aggro, you have a little bit of a better chance because you can slowly establish your board state and then beat them on value like we saw in that previous game.
Yeah. So we're staying at the same table. We're gonna see IGotDead against Viralata.
Yeah, here are the finals, folks.
So here we go. It's coming down to this. So we've got the Naya against Boros aggro.
Right.
So we've got another aggro mid-range matchup here. This Boros deck, how do you feel about this Boros aggro deck?
You know, it's to me, it's probably the scariest deck out there right now. I know for anyone who's doing any amount of anti-meta deck building that's trying to climb their way up the ladder, which speaking of which, it looks like the ladder's going to reset here or already has. Typically, the way that they're angled, a lot of the videos that come out to kind of combat anti-meta deck building, they see Boros aggro as I think, among the top, if not the top deck. I've seen a couple of comparisons out there as it being the de facto deck to beat. And there's a Brutal Cathar from Viralata. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, the Brutal Cathars and the Skyclave Apparitions. I mean, at this point, though, IGotDead really does need to find a couple more lands. Kind of starved a bit. I mean, that Goblin is going to be able to make a land, but is basically within, very easy to kill.
Yeah, absolutely. This is going to be.
So we're seeing Hopeful Initiate swing into a pair of 2/2s. IGotDead taking it.
It flips.
Oh, choosing to let it flip.
Okay, so
choosing to let the Moonrage Brute flip.
Unfortunately, IGotDead. Another situation where they draw into a tapped source here. The trouble with running Naya and why I think Boros is the superior deck right now for just general ladder climbing is what we're seeing here. Multiple times IGotDead has been bailed out by one or more cards, but the problem is consistency with lands. They run so many lands that enter the battlefield tapped or have some conditional basis that require, whatever it is to not enter tapped. And as you can see here, it can result in you being in these awkward situations where you got to make tough decisions.
Yeah. And IGotDead, you can see kind of, cycling through the cards, looking to see what they're going to get rid of, really wants to keep Elspeth.
Yeah. I question that, honestly.
Yeah. There's a Play with Fire. That Skyclave Apparition is not going to swing in.
Yeah.
All right. So Viralata. Is Viralata going to play a couple spells here or just leave it as it is?
Well, if you play multiple spells, it will flip the Moonrage. So you got to be careful there. It'll be able to steal another creature if that happens. Well, there's the land that you'll be able to resolve Elspeth, but is that what you want?
Ooh, the
Fleetfoot's
Fleetfoot Dancer is looking pretty decent at this point. I mean, Fleetfoot Dancer, swing in, get the 4 life this turn, go back up to 12. You can use the apparition to maybe block a little bit, get Helena and Alana out there next turn, make that Fleetfoot Dancer a 6/6 trample lifelink against this Boros deck that's not really known for having very big creatures, just very, very aggressive.
Yeah, we'll have to see how many copies of. Okay, so the Boros deck does main board 1 copy of Valorous Stance. I was just about to say, I know they have some copies in the sideboard here, but running 1 in the main does give them the opportunity to at instant speed. That's
take the counters out there. Oh, just clearing the board.
Great heads up play.
So Viralata is now only looking at putting 6 damage, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Yeah.
11 damage coming across the board there now, right? 13.
Yeah, that's
where was my math off?
First game on this this final match here. By the way, for folks who are just joining here, we're in the finals here. We've got a matchup here between Boros Aggro and Naya Midrange, 2 incredible players who have spent all afternoon, all evening progressing through the ladder here, and it's just been a swing fest. Seems like these past several matches have been highly aggressive.
Since we took over commentary OhOneNine, we've just watched some crazy good games.
It's
none of this none of the prelim guys where they're just rolling out of bed, rubbing their eyes. I'll just play this. No, we've watched the cream of the crop. Everyone is all warmed up per se, and everyone is just ready to rock here. Everyone has just brought their A game. Everyone's using their big brains to get this done. And Viralata 1 win away from claiming this tournament, being the king of the mountain with Boros Aggro.
Yeah, incredible deck. Coming into this, I think a lot of people understood it to be among the top 3, if not the best deck in Standard right now. Very surprised we saw in the top 4, no decks representing Jeskai Hinata. It may be a shift in the way things have happened, of course, with the way that the format has progressed. IGotDead keeping a hand here with, again, good mana representation. They got 4. They have all colors represented. Yeah. Another Luminarch to start, Prosperous Innkeeper, Extraction to pull one of those back out of the bin if it gets dropped. Wow.
Other than that first land, all these other lands are going to be coming in untapped. Because they'll just play out that Branch Loft next turn. There's no hurry on the extra red mana from that Rockfall Veil. So, no play on turn 1, but then going to be able to play 4 or 3 more lands without having to tap anything. That's pretty good. It's not bad at all.
This is kind of what I was worried about, is he had the Luminarch in hand and that he's immediately going to be on the back foot here with Viralata having access to pumping that Luminarch above what the pump effect of the opposite Luminarch is capable of doing. Now I'm not going to Monday morning quarterback here, but had it been me, I may have considered the idea at least of rolling out that Prosperous Innkeeper and being able to cheat out wandering 1 turn sooner as opposed to going to Luminarch.
Brutal Cather is going to slow down IGotDead there quite a bit. Even getting the Fleetfoot Dancer, I don't think Viralata is going to have really any problem eating that 4 damage.
Another option here is you roll out the Wandering and you minus, keeping it for another turn. By the way, I want to mention the line that Viralata is taking. He is not hesitating at all. Are you seeing this? Every single time.
Hyper aggressive here. But that second Brutal Cather coming out, taking away that Fleetfoot Dancer. And now IGotDead can exile one of those Brutal Cathers to get the Luminarch Aspirant back.
Right.
Or do you take the Viralata Luminarch Aspirant?
Well, IGotDead thinks this is the right line here. How's the play with fire?
Play with fire.
Gosh, he's got every answer.
Clear. Viralata's kind of seemingly has all the answers at this point.
How does he still have 3 cards in his hand? I feel like he's been playing 50 cards so far.
Yeah.
Oh, so wow. Doesn't even care.
Doesn't even care about Wandering. Over with 10.
going straight to the face here. Has to block the 4. It's not looking good here for IGotDead.
No, takes
Oh
6,
my
down to
gosh.
5. He says, good game.
Oh my goodness.
Royal Eruption is 3, and he's got the play with fire. Does he
He's
have
got
it?
the double
Another Royal
royal.
Eruption. Viralata
Wow.
gonna be dancing around the room right now. We need a
Wow.
camera there. Where's the cruise?
Now that was some exciting tournament coverage, right? Looked like Hinata got the beat down in this top 8. I want to give a big congratulations to Viralata for taking it down with Boros Aggro. Congratulations as well to our second place competitor, Victoria, with Naya mid-range as well. An interesting deck that they brought today. I want to give a big shout out as well to all of our competitors that made top 8, and big thanks to our commentators who did a phenomenal job on the coverage, if I do say so myself. And I want to thank you, the viewer, for making it this far into the video. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, the bell notification, like the video, leave a comment down below. All will be greatly appreciated. You can find all the information, the links to the deck list for all the decks from this event, all of our content, and the tournaments in the description below. And I hope that you stay cheesy.